All right. Well, welcome to the last class. We've made it. We've made it 10 classes. And so thank you for sticking with me through 10 classes. And thank you for coming to the last class of this course. So the theme for this class is the end because it is the end. And also because we still have some final sounds that I wanted to do that we didn't do last week. Actually, there's one final sound that we're going to do today, which has, I help people all the time with this final sound. So anyway, thank you for sticking with me, for staying with me through the 10 classes, and for showing up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I do appreciate it. All right. So let's see what we should do. Okay. So first, I need you to use your imagination. So imagine someone saying this. Okay. So they're looking at the pool. Okay. This is a picture of the pool. And they say, oh my God, there's something at the bottom of the pool. Go rescue it. Okay. So I'll say that again. Listen to how I say it. Excuse me. Oh my God, there's something at the bottom of the pool. Go rescue it. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is because there's some words I wanted to focus on today. And some of these words, Brazilians have trouble with these final sounds. So listen to how I say these words that are on the screen. Something, happen, bottom, pool. Okay. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write down or take a picture or write down the sentences at the top of the screen and the 4 words, however you want to do that. And I'm going to get you to practice this in your group. I guess there's only 3 of you. So I'll practice with 1 of you and 2 of you can practice together, and then we'll switch off in case if somebody else comes, that would be better, but I'm not sure. All right. Okay, so does everybody have the picture or written down the sentences? So, excuse me. So here's what I'd like you to do. So I'd like you to practice. Sorry, I'm losing my voice completely. Practice these words and the sentences. And then as you're doing that, think about these questions. Do you understand your partner? I should have gotten you to take the picture now. Anyway, do you understand your partner? Which words are hard to understand? Are there some words that are harder to understand than others? And which words for you were hard to pronounce? Okay, hard to pronounce. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 people in a room, and I think yesterday, yeah, no, Tuesday, I did 4 minutes, and that seemed to be better than 3 minutes. Okay, so that's what I want you to do. So I'm going to put you into 2 people will be in a room. And so Daniela and Lillian will be in a room. And then I'm going to work, I guess, with Marcia. Okay, Marcia, you stay here. Okay, and I will give you 4 minutes to practice and talk. Okay. All right. Okay, Marcia, it's just you and me. All right. So let me hear you say the sentences at the top. Why don't you read those? The first one is, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
There is something at the bottom of the pool. Go rescue.
It.
Go rescue.
Yeah, but you didn't say it. Go rescue it.
Go rescue it.
Okay. So say that again, please.
Oh my God, there is something at the bottom of the pool. Go rescue it.
Okay, good. All right. Now I'd like you to say these 4 words so I can listen.
Something.
Okay.
Happen.
Okay.
Bottom.
Yeah.
Pool.
Okay, so let me ask you, were there some words that were hard for you to say?
For me, when I needed to say rescue it, when I needed to say
So this, so you,
yes,
okay, rescue it. Okay,
yeah,
that was hard for you. And the other words were fine?
yeah, the
Okay,
other
so let
word
me
is
tell
fine.
you what I hear that is a problem. I hear a problem with this, these two.
Well,
Yeah, bottom. So listen to how I say it and then listen to yourself and see if you hear a difference, okay? So I'll say bottom, bottom, pool, pool.
mm,
So, and no, I want you to say bottom twice. You say bottom,
bottom,
yeah,
bottom,
uh-huh,
e pool,
pool. So for
pool.
both of these, you pronounce the final sound differently than I do. Okay, so when I hear you say the first word, it sounds almost like, to me, it sounds like this word.
Mm,
And the reason that is because you don't pronounce the M the same way that I do. So I pronounce bottom and you say bottom, right? Bottom. And so you don't fully pronounce it. So what happens is that the L sound is a lighter sound. It's not as hard. So, and same thing when you try and say that at the end of the sentence, you also don't fully pronounce the L, pool. And I think the L is pool. Your tongue
pool,
has to go out. Pool, pool,
pool, pool,
pool.
pool.
Yeah. The focus today, though, is going to be the M, because honestly, I haven't heard a problem with the L before I did the lesson on Tuesday. I really thought that it was going to be the M sound that everybody had trouble with, but now I've discovered that the L sound is also a problem. It's funny because when I did my research for the course, they said, oh, I was looking at other resources for Portuguese speakers, and they said final sounds that are difficult are the N and the M, and they said nothing about the L. And I actually had never recognized that the final L sound was a problem. I don't know why, but it certainly was a problem on Tuesday. So anyway, so I think you're back. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened with us, and then you tell us what happened with you. Okay. So with us, Marcia said that she had trouble with rescue it. Okay, and that's not really what I expected. So and then when Marcia said these words, I had a problem. Marcia didn't think she had a problem, but I had a problem with the final M, which I expected, and the final L, which I didn't expect. So that's what happened with us. Okay, so what happened with you? Lillian and Daniela, what did you find?
For Lillian,
Yeah.
sometimes she tries to do the she put the thumb thing.
Oh,
and after she corrected.
Yeah. Right.
And
so that is something that I know that some Brazilians have trouble with, is the s and the th. Okay, so that's a tongue problem. Okay, and what else?
Happen was okay, bottom okay, and
Bottom was okay.
Yep, but the rescue a little bit hard.
Okay, and Lillian, what about Daniela?
Daniela is perfect English.
Ah,
Well, she's been here 5 years. Okay.
not perfect.
Lillian, I'm sure when you're here 5 years, you'll have less problems for sure. Okay.
I hope.
Oh, of course. Okay, Daniela, can I hear you say these 4 words?
Something happen, bottom, pool.
Yeah, so to my ears, Daniela is having a problem with bottom.
Bottom,
Yes. So and let me hear say the last one.
pool.
Pool. Yeah, there's a slight difference in how Brazilians say the final L than how we say it. It wasn't as pronounced as bottom. And so when I designed this course, I designed it because I almost every day I have to work with students on the word bottom, almost every day. And the reason that is because I teach a lot of CELPIP and IELTS preparation, as you know. Marcia knows because I taught her IELTS. And in CELPIP, which is, Daniela, do you know what CELPIP is? Okay. In CELPIP, you have to describe a picture. And when you're describing the picture, you have to tell the listener where you're looking in the picture. So usually you use words like bottom left, bottom right. And for my Brazilians, they can never say bottom.
What do they say?
Bota. Bota or bottle. Like it sounds, I mean, they don't say bottle, but it sounds like the word bottle. Bota. Bota. Or bada. Okay, but because there's no word bada in English, it sounds, this is how the brain works. It sounds like the close word to that sound, which is bottle. So this is, and I heard Marcia do this. I heard you do this, Daniela. Lillian, can you say bottom for me?
Bottle.
Okay, you can hear it. Sounds like bottle. Did you say bottom? Did you think you were saying bottom? I want the first word, bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah, sounds like bottle, right? So you don't know this because you don't know how I hear. Okay. Now, Daniela, can you hear, what do you hear when Lillian says that word? Do you
Bottle.
hear the second one, right? Yeah, it sounds like this word, right? Bottle. Yeah. So this is a problem. Now, about the rescue it, we're going to be working on in the next course. Okay. This has to do with linking words together. And this is a really good example for the next course, but we're not working on this today. We're working on the final M. Okay, so the reason I did this was an assessment for you. Okay, so let's go through it and let me help you with it. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do this, I wanted to help you with, which was the final M sound, the final M sound. I just need to write down my timing. Okay, so the final M sound, this is how you make it. So you can see in the picture that the lady has her mouth closed very tightly. The lips are together. So the way that you make it is this. Okay, so first, and I'm gonna step you through this. Okay, so in Portuguese, the final M is not said the same way. I mean, for example, how do you say congratulations in Portuguese? Lillian?
Parabéns.
Parabéns.
Okay, so when I hear it, I hear parabéns. I don't hear the final N at all. I don't hear the final N. I hear parabéns, bens. The N is not fully made, and the M is the same way. I just don't know in Portuguese a word that I could tell you because I don't have much Portuguese. So the way that you say this is I'm going to make you do a couple steps. The first thing I want you to do is, like, number one, I want you to close your lips, put your hand here, and make a vibrate sound. Okay, so so you'll, two things that are different here is that your lips are fully closed, like really hard. And the vibration sound is coming from your neck, right? Your vocal cords. Mm. So now try it with the same thing and say the word tum, tum. Okay, you have to feel it. Tum. Okay, can you feel the vibration on the M? Okay, now try it with bottom,
Bottom.
bottom,
Bottom.
bottom. Okay,
Bottom.
so if you're not closing your lips tight and you're not forcing out that vibration sound, it won't sound right. Okay, so now I'd like to hear you say bottom. Okay, make sure you make the vibration sound. Okay, Marcia, let me hear you do this.
Bottom.
That's different. Okay, Lillian.
Bottom.
Mm.
Bottom.
So make the m sound longer. Okay. So Lillian, if you don't feel it here, you're not making the right sound. So you need to use your hand. Put your hand here again. Bottom.
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 That's it. Okay, Daniela.
Bottom.
Nope. No, you have to make the vibration sound.
Bottom.
Bottom.
Mm,
Bottom.
mm.
Bottom.
Do you feel the vibration in your neck? I don't hear.
Bottom.
That's better. That's better. So maybe for you, Daniela, maybe you need to hold it a little bit longer. Okay, because as I said, it's very, very hard to change this. You've been saying this final M because you have final M in your language, right? You have an M at the end of words, right? Yes. So, but the way you've been saying your language is your whole life, right? So to change it is really hard. Okay, so you need to do these two things. So maybe for you, the key is to hold it longer. Okay, and so you have to kind of like really push that, bottom. Okay, and you don't open your mouth until after the vibration is made. Okay, so let's just try this with the words. Okay, let's try this with these words. Okay, these is a list of common words. These are the short sounds, which are easier to make, and then the long vowel sounds at the end. So, I mean, it's your choice. I would do it with your hand here so that you can hear yourself, and then we'll try it again with your hand off, maybe. Okay, so let's try it. I'll say it and then you repeat it. Am. Tom.
Tom.
Come.
Come.
Time.
Time.
Team.
Team.
Room.
Room.
Okay, so we'll try this again. Do I have time to do? Yeah, I'd like to hear all of you individually say this. Okay, and I want you to listen to yourself as you say it. Okay, Marcia, try it. These words. Yeah.
Tom.
Yeah.
Come.
Good.
Time.
Good.
Team.
Yep.
Room.
Marcia, that was absolutely fantastic. Okay, Lillian, let's hear.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
Okay, Daniela, that's okay. Daniela,
M.
yeah,
Tom.
good,
Come.
yeah,
Time.
yeah,
Team.
okay,
Room.
good, beautiful, beautiful. Bottom, say bottom, Daniela.
Bottom.
It's just bottom that it still is not quite right.
Bottom.
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 So hum a little bit when you're at the end.
Bottom.
You're still not forcing out the sound.
Bottom.
Yep, you're not doing it.
Maybe I can't do work.
Maybe you can't. Okay, bottom.
Bottom.
Can you do this again?
Because if I try to do that, I'm gonna say bottom.
That's right, and that's right.
Okay, but
That's right.
nobody says bottom.
Well, but you're right. It feels uncomfortable because you feel like you're exaggerating the sound. I understand that. but you need to train your brain to change the sound. So I want you to be aware of maybe holding it just a little bit longer. Okay,
Okay.
because otherwise people are going to think you're saying bottle.
Bottle. Bottom.
Yeah, good. All right. Okay, Lillian. Go ahead.
Am,
Good,
Tom,
good.
come,
Yep.
time,
Mhm.
team, room,
Team.
team,
Yeah. So when you do the EA, it's like the Portuguese E sound, the E sound, but bigger. Like you have to smile. It's a green word, right? Team,
yes,
team, team,
team,
team.
team,
Good, excellent. All right, now you know that it's hard to change your pronunciation. So you might do these words okay, but then when you put it in a sentence, you'll just go back to the old way, right? So I thought I would give you a sentence, okay? And it sounds like this. Come here, Tim. It's time to go to your room. So imagine your son's name is Tim. Okay. And it's time to go to bed. Okay, so you tell him, come here, Tim, go to your room. Okay. All right. So let's practice this together. Okay. And then I'll have you say it individually. So I'll just say parts of it. Okay. Be aware that you need to hold that M until you make a vibration sound and that your lips are tightly together. Okay. So it goes like this. Here, Tim. Okay.
Here,
come
Tim.
here, team,
It's time
It's
it's
time
to go to your room.
to
To
go
go
to your
to your
room.
room.
And remember that time, that E is silent. Okay, that was last week's lesson. Okay, it's time.
Time.
Time. Okay, Marcia, do you want to try it?
Yes.
Okay.
Come here, Tim. It's time to go to your room.
Beautiful. Lillian?
come here, Tim. It's time to go to your room.
Beautiful. Daniela?
Come here, Tim. It's time to go to your room.
Yeah, room. I still think,
Room.
Daniela, that you need to like hold that M a little bit longer because it almost sounds like rue. Now, there isn't another word like room, so people will understand you. But room sounds different than how yours is more as a lighter ending, like room. I don't know, but I understand you. Again, it's all about understanding, right? And so if for some reason bottom sounds really wrong, but the way these words seem okay, maybe it's because it's 2 syllables. Okay. All right. So that's the final sound that I wanted to work on with you. I mean, this has been the biggest thing I've wanted to work on since I started the course. So let's just review what you've learned in the course quickly. Remember at the very beginning of the course, I showed you this pronunciation framework. For the most of this, well, for all of this course, we have been focused on sound production. So the bottom of this triangle, and but there's still lots to learn. There's lots more. So let's just review what we've learned. Okay, we've learned a lot in 10 hours. Imagine this. Okay, we've learned why English is hard for Brazilians, that you can't learn to speak from reading, because reading and speaking English are completely different, not like Portuguese. Okay, that we've also learned that there are some sounds in English that are not in Portuguese, and these sounds are hard for you. In fact, they might sound like other sounds, so it's really hard for you. We've learned about problems with consonants, we've learned that how to say the R at the beginning, like an English R, like in Rodrigo, the W at the beginning, not a H sound, but like a W sound, like in weather. And we've worked on, I think, one of the hardest sounds, which is the TH. And you remember that you have to stick your tongue out like something, something. And we've also learned about other problems with consonants that we just did, like, for example, the final M, like in bottom. And at the beginning, we did a little bit on the ED sound for past tense. We also learned about problems with vowels and hearing and saying words like bat or bit or beat. So the difference between these sounds that are similar to others, and these two sounds specifically are not in Portuguese. So the ah sound is not in Portuguese, and the I sound not in Portuguese. I taught you a way to remember vowel sounds, which is not my way, but my another teacher friend's way. So you learned about black cat, that cat is a black word, and a red bed, that bed is a red word. Pink flamingo, remember the bird, the flamingo, and green teen, like teenager, is a green word. So this system you learned. And you also learned about other problems when you subtract and add vowels at the end, similar to saying Andy, like Ash saying Andy, which is wrong, and saying Mady, like for made the bed. So pronouncing that final E, which is supposed to be silent, and then subtracting the E sound at the end, like in the word happy, happy. Most importantly, you've learned that not all pronunciation sounds are the same. So you don't need perfect English. You need to be understood. Okay, so if there's a word that's similar, those are the words that are a problem. Okay, so that's the most important thing. It's not on the screen, but the most important thing that I've taught you is that you don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to be understood. So look at all these things we've done. Isn't that amazing? Amazing, in 10 weeks. All right. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to talk to your partner about what is the most valuable, what are the things that you remember most that we did? Because I'd like some feedback, you know, and don't be afraid to say, oh, I didn't like this lesson, or it didn't help me, or I don't have this problem. I don't care. So I just like to hear you discuss what you thought was the most valuable to you. Yeah, so you can, if you can take a picture of this, so maybe you already know what you liked most, what you learned most about this. But I am going to stop the share and put you, I think I'll put Marcia and Lillian together, and then Daniela can talk to me. Okay, so is that okay? Everybody ready for that? Lillian, are you ready for that? You look upset. Are you okay? You're good? You're not
Yes.
good. What's wrong? Do you know what to do?
I have the problem, but I need a doctor. I have one problem, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. It's a different problem, not the
Yeah,
problem with
no,
what I
no,
said.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry.
No,
Because
no,
the
no.
Rodrigo called me about this, but
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that you were okay with me. Okay.
yes.
I got it. Okay. So, oh, well, I guess Marcia, you're with me again. I clicked too fast. I clicked too fast. All right, that's okay. Don't worry. Okay, so Marcia, tell me what you think. What do you most remember about what we've learned?
About the TH.
The TH was something that was important to you. Okay.
Yeah, and about the colors, black, cat, bed,
Okay. And
red.
So those were the things that were most helpful to you, the colors. Okay. Do you think that you'll use those colors? Like, you know, like, or it's hard to use them if you don't have a resource.
Yeah, it's good to remember
Yeah.
well how I needed to pronunciation some words.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the I think a few weeks ago
Yeah.
I saw about the scholars
Yes.
when Beatrice bring the activity from school, and her school said about the scholars.
You're kidding.
Yes, it's true.
They're teaching that in school?
Yes, I saw in the I think in the homework.
You're kidding.
Yes.
How many sounds did you see? Like, were there other sounds that they reviewed in school?
I don't remember
That's
what
really,
but I remember because of the colors.
that's really interesting because I've never heard that before. I've never heard that this system has made it into the school system. This system was developed by a friend of mine, and she has been actually, she's Canadian, like she lives in, well, now she lives in Niagara. But she had a meeting about 2 months ago with the Minister of Education to try and get this into the school system, because the way they teach pronunciation is ridiculous. It doesn't work, right? So it's based on the old way that we used to teach how to
I
speak.
will try to find this
Yeah, I would
homework
really-
and I take a picture. I will send you
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's
because
really-
I
yeah.
think now there are a lot of another's people than others country in the school, and
I know.
there are a lot problems to pronunciation.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Canada is a country of immigrants, and our students are in there now. Now, honestly, the children, I mean, it's useful, but the children don't need it as much as the adults do, because they have a better ear for copying sounds. So you know how you know Beatrice's English is a super fantastic, right? So they don't really need the system because their language is just developing. So you have, you know, over 40 years of saying things a certain way, but they don't have that practice. So you have much more practice with your first language than they do. Plus the way that their brain is still developing. So that's why it's so much easier for children to learn languages than adults. It's all about practice, right? So you have a lot of practice in Portuguese, so that you've said these sounds like this way for a very long time. So you're trying to use that same sound system on English, and it doesn't quite work, right? But that's really interesting. Is there anything that you think that I should leave out, that I should not include in the next course when I do this? Something that you think is valuable?
It's great this
Oh, really? Okay,
all this.
really? Because I know, Marcia, you would tell me. Because well, because you have, you know, you're comfortable with me, and
Yes, yeah, sure. But a lot of things
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know
Really?
I pronunciation wrong.
Yeah. Isn't that
Always I
oh,
think, oh, I'm correct, but now I understand it's not.
yeah. All right. Well,
I think it's a great information and
oh,
learning.
good. Because, you know, I didn't know, because I've never done this before, right? I've never done this before. So when I developed it, it was I really had to think, you know, if I were Brazilian, what would I want? What would I want to know? And that was the perspective that I did. And what's really funny is that there's not a lot of information out there about
Yeah.
how Brazilians speak. I mean, there's a lot on Portuguese, which isn't quite right for Brazilians because Portuguese Portuguese is quite
Mhm.
different than Brazilian. But this is all I knew is that every day I spend 5 hours a day at least teaching Brazilians. And so I have a lot of experience about what problems they have. And over the last 2 years, for sure, I've been keeping notes on every single pronunciation problem that I hear. And then I go back through those notes and I went, oh yeah, this happens a lot. This happens a lot. And so that's good. But what I didn't know is if I could develop a way to help you change it, because I don't have that background. So that was the part that I had to research.
Mhm.
So that's good. Oh, thank you. So if
Yeah.
there's,
I wanted to review
yes,
the last class
yes,
more time.
yeah, sure. And
So,
you have what I'm going to do is, I think what I should do is at the end of the course, when I get back, I'm going to give you access to all of the recordings. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So, oops, I didn't want that. All right. So Daniela and Lillian, what did you talk about? What did you talk about? What was valuable or not valuable?
Um, I think for me, the vowel sounds are important, but I'm not sure if I fixed it in my mind, black, red, pink, and green.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I know my problems. I'm not sure, and you taught me very well. Like I know what I have to do, but it's hard to
Yeah,
fix.
sure. It's
In every
really hard to fix.
conversation,
Yeah.
because I don't speak English at all. Like I'm just with you here, and
Well, you know, because but your kids, are your kids speaking English to you or Portuguese?
we don't allow them to speak English
Oh, really?
because they're losing Portuguese. So
Oh, I see. Okay. So you
yeah,
don't,
but of course, especially my little one, he can't like explain sometimes in Portuguese something that is important to him, so he
right.
speaks
Okay.
in
But you're
English.
you're not working right now. So you're not, you know,
Yeah.
getting a lot of practice.
And people don't correct me anymore, so this is a
Right.
problem. And
Well, but Daniela, there's a couple of reasons why people don't correct you. Number one is because they understand you.
yeah,
So I mean, most of the reasons that people don't correct you is because they understand you, and they understand you because of your sound production, but also all the rest of the context that you give when you are communicating. You know, the words that you use around it, people use that, they don't even know that they're understanding the context, the way you say it. And as I said, the only time they're going to correct you or ask you to correct yourself is when you say something that doesn't have enough context, that sounds like another word, like
yeah,
bottom, like because bottom is often said by itself, right?
yeah.
And there's not a lot of context, right? So that's the first reason that people don't correct you. The second reason is that they're polite, and
Yeah.
very polite society, and a society that is used to hearing many different accents, because
Yeah.
everybody you talk to in Canada has an accent. I'm in the minority. Okay.
Yeah, and you know me, I don't feel shy to say, okay, correct me, please. So I have friends in my son's soccer,
Sure.
and they are all Canadians, and they are always like, okay, say it that way, not this
Yeah,
way,
'cause they
and
think they're
this
helping you,
and
but
that.
you have to
Yeah.
have a relationship for that. Okay,
Yeah,
right?
because sometimes you just have to say in another way. Another day I learned that bleachers are not like the seat for
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bench.
yeah.
And then what's the name of this? It's not a bench. No, it's bleacher. I said, oh, now I know. So
Yeah,
because if you say bench, they're gonna understand you. So
you will. They'll
yeah.
understand. Yeah. All right. So that's good. Good to know. And so you don't think there's anything I should like take out of the course? Because I know you would tell me. Or do something differently in the course?
I don't know. I think everything's very useful, but it's, as you said, if you don't have it every single day, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah, for
So
sure. I know that's
yeah,
the problem. All
yeah.
right. Okay. Lillian, what did you think? Any comments?
Yes, yes, it's very important for me. I feel I've improved, but I still need a lot.
Right. So I think that one of the things that Marcia said is that she felt that the vowel sound system was very useful. This black, red, pink, and green. And actually, Marcia, sorry, I'm talking for you, Marcia, that actually her daughter brought home some stuff from school that they were starting to use it in the school system, which I thought was very surprising. But that, I mean, there's not 4 sounds. There's actually 18 sounds. 18 or 16, I always get confused. 18 sounds, but not all these sounds are the same, are difficult for you. The ones that are really difficult are the black sound and the pink sound. So one of the things I'm going to do for you is I'm going to send you a graphic that has all the vowel systems, like all the colors. And there is a book that I have that actually I helped write. I'm very proud of it, which is a dictionary. It's a Grass is Black dictionary that has all the common words sorted by color, which is a fantastic tool. I'll send that to you in case you want to take a look at it. If you want to see it, just contact me and I'll lend you mine. Okay, if you want to see it first, if there's something, a resource that you want. And the other thing I'll do for you is I will give you access to the recording of all the classes because I've put them all on YouTube. The problem is I don't want to make them publicly available yet because your faces are in them. And I am getting somebody to take out the faces before I make them public. Okay, because I don't want your faces to be out there in the internet universe. Okay, but for now I'll give you limited access, but it won't be publicly available. Okay. All right, so that's good information. Now the last thing I wanted to do with you, what time is it? The last thing I wanted to do with you is have you practice a poem that I really like. The idea of this poem is called Old Friends. And now that we're old friends, because I've known all 3 of you for a very long time. And so we were already old friends, but now we're older friends. Well, now I'm an old friend because now I'm 60, right? So I'm an old friend. This is a poem that was written anonymously. It is in the book, The English is Stupid book. One of you will get an English is Stupid book. I'm going to give away 3 of these for the 3 classes to somebody. I'm just going to pull a name. So you might get this book. I'll do that when I get home. But anyway, this is a beautiful poem that I'd like you to practice. And when you practice it, I want you to be careful that you practice the things I've taught you. For example, the E in coffee. Where's coffee? Right. I love coffee. You know that. Here's my coffee. So make sure you fully pronounce the E in coffee and you don't cut it off. Okay. So coffee. That you pronounce the ED sound in walked and talked. Okay, so it's not walked and talked, it's walked and talked. And make sure that for the word we, that you pronounce it like an English W, like like weather. We talked about that, not he, okay? Because we, the way you say it sometimes, it sounds like the word he, and he and we are the same, in the same position in the sentence. So these are the things I want you to practice, and I'd like you to practice this with your friend, and I'm going to practice it with Lillian. And this is your last chance to talk to each other before we finish the class. Okay, so I'm going to give you just 5 minutes. I said 7 minutes.
But do you have time to see if we are saying it correctly or not?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, if you have time, I have time.
No, because we should like read to you and you should say like it's good
Okay.
or not. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that then. Let's, I won't put you in breakout rooms. So let's do it together here. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so Daniela, do you want to start?
Yes, it's small.
Is it small? Okay, let me make, is it small? Okay, now that's interesting. Well, oops, I don't think I can make it big. Hold on.
That's okay. Just have to be
Okay.
close. Yeah. We
Yeah.
walked and talked and walked, walked and talked, talked and walked. We sat in a garden and looked at the flowers. We talked and talked for hours and hours. We drank coffee and I drank tea. We sat and talked from 1 to 3. We talk about him. We talk about us. Then we walked to the corner to get the bus. We waited and waited. The bus was late. So we stood and talked from 4 to 8.
Very good. Very good. Excellent. The only thing I heard that I just to make sure is looked.
We sat in a garden and looked at the flowers.
Okay, looked. And then what about this word?
He drank coffee.
Okay, because when you said it, it sounded almost like we.
He drank coffee.
He drank coffee. Okay, excellent. Okay, Lillian?
Oh, no, Shirley.
If you don't want to, you don't have to. Okay, you can do this with me.
Do it.
Yeah, Lillian, you can do this with me privately if you want. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. Okay? Do you want to try it or no?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right, go ahead.
But it's hard for
I
me.
know it is.
Old friends,
Okay.
we walked and talked, and talked and walked, walked and talked, talked and walked.
Okay.
Correct?
No, it should be walked.
Walked,
Talked.
walked.
Talked. So almost like, and this is something that we're going to do more in the next course. So it should be like this. Walked. We walked and talked. Now we did this at the very beginning of the course. So try that again.
Okay. We walked and talked.
Talked.
And-
Yeah.
And talked and walked. Walked and talked. Talked and walked.
It's getting better. Okay, continue.
Yes, we sat in a garden.
And
Sorry,
And looked.
and looked and the flowers. We talked and talked for hours and hours.
Good.
He drank coffee and I drank tea.
Yeah.
We sat and talked from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
We talked about him. We talked about us. Then we walked to the corner to get the bus.
Good.
We ate and waited. The bus was late. So we stood and talked from 4 to 8.
That was great.
Good.
Great, Lillian. So I just think we need to do a little bit more work on trying to make the kt at the back of your throat walked. It's very hard. We just need a lot of practice, but when you read it the second time, it was better. Okay, and you fully pronounced the coffee, which I was very happy about, and you didn't say he. It's good, excellent. Okay, Marcia, how about you?
Old friends.
Mhm.
We walked and talked and talked and walked, walked and talked, talked and walked. We sat in a garden and looked at the flowers. We talked and talked for hours and hours. He drank coffee and I drank tea. We sat and talked from 1 to 3. We talked about him. We talked about us. Then we walked to the corner to get the bus. We waited and waited. The bus was late. So we stood and talked from 4 to 8.
Beautiful, beautiful work on the walked and talked. Now, just a couple things. Coffee. Now,
Coffee.
I know this is hard for you because you have the word café in your language, which means coffee. But the way you pronounce it in English is coffee. You have to fully pronounce that E. It's a green sound, right? Coffee. Coffee. Okay.
Coffee.
And then even though we shorten the walked, we don't shorten the waited.
Waited.
Because it ends, remember we did this a little bit, it ends with a t sound. So we fully pronounce the 2 syllables, waited. So walked is 1 syllable, but waited is 2. So it's very confusing to have them both in the same reading. Okay, but I understood you all completely. And so great job. Great job. This is fun. You can do this with your partner and your kids and see if they can do it. Okay. All right. So what's going to happen next? And I just have a few minutes. If you can hold on with me, I'm past the time. But if you can stay for a couple minutes. I'm going to do, my plan is, unless something happens, I'm going to develop part 2. Okay. I think part 2 of this course. And in part 2, I'm going to focus on the other areas. But there's also a couple of sound production problems that I just didn't have time to do. So I'm going to focus more on these ED endings. We're going to do a lot more practice on the ED endings. And I want to do a lot more practice on can and can't, because that's really important, can and can't. And then I'm going to move on to the other parts of pronunciation that we haven't discussed. We're going to do word stress. So my focus will be saying numbers correctly and being able to hear numbers. That's a big problem, like 30, 13, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to talk about unstressed syllables, that changing the vowel sound and reducing words like business and restaurant and things like that. We're going to talk about sentence stress and the rhythm of English and how we speak. This isn't a big problem for Brazilians, but it is something you should be aware of. And linking words. So this is about rescue it. Okay, so that's a linking problem. And then we'll talk about intonation and questions. Again, I don't think questions are a big problem, but there's a certain type of question that is a big problem, which is a tag question. It's like, for example, it's hot today, isn't it? Brazilians don't know how to say that. My experience anyway. So that's what my plan is for part 2. Part 2 will be offered in September. So I'm going to take this summer to develop it. And that's about all I know right now. Okay, so if you're interested in it, then I will send you some point a question whether you're interested in it. And there'll be more. So in the next 2 weeks, when I get home, I'll be sending you a short survey, just a very short survey. I know nobody likes to do this, but it's be like really quick. I just want you to please do it. I really appreciate it because I need to use this information. And then in September also, my plan is to offer this course again to, and I have hired a Brazilian. I don't know, Daniela, do you know Barbara Simas? Was she there when you were there? No? Okay, so she's a student of mine from LLI who I've worked with for a long time, and she's in social media marketing. And she's also a very social person. She knows a lot of people.
I know her. She has
Do you
blue
know?
eyes.
You know her, Barbara?
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing. Anyway, I'm hiring her to help me market this to Brazilians in Canada and in Brazil, so that I can, and I will have, those courses will be also going in September, but I might get another teacher to teach them. Probably one of the teachers from LLI. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen. So if you found this course valuable and you have friends in Brazil that you think should take it, please tell them and have them contact me and I'll put them on the list for September. And that's it. I just want to say thank you on behalf of Maren, who I'm sure would be very thankful about you taking this course, and myself. I just want to say thank you for helping me through this journey. All right.
Thank you, Sherry.
Okay. All right. So that's the end of the course. And now I need to go shopping.
Okay.
All right. So have a great
Thank
day. Okay.
You too. Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Lillian,
much, Sherry.
Lillian, you stay on for a minute. Will you stay on
Yes.
for a minute? Okay. Thank you.
Bye.